everybody. Welcome to the Road Warriors. This that show that hits every highway in HBCU football, baby. From the SWAC to the MEAC, from the CIAA to the SAIC. I'm Kobe Simmons. I was in Philly where 47,000 fans packed Lincoln Financial. I got my man Josh that was in Fayetteville catching that CIAA energy. And Vaughn was in Tallahassee for the SWAC Classic between Jackson State and FAMU. And you know, November football hits a little different. You know, when the
Hold on, Kobe. Hold on, Kobe. I pulled a double. I was also in Albany, Georgia, Saturday afternoon to catch the first half of the SIAC showdown between Albany State and Savannah State. Then drove back to Tallahassee to catch. So I did a double Saturday.
Hey, that's a real road warrior right there.
Right.
And so, you know, when now we're starting to talk about that time for hardware. You know what I mean? It's November. We getting ready for the playoffs. So we're going to start off the show with the scoreboard real quick, giving you a quick rundown of what was happening around HBCU football. In the MEAC, North Carolina Central, 35, Howard 14. Walker Harris had 321 yards and 4 TDs. And Chauncey Spikes went off for 208 yards receiving. Yo, he was killing them.
Yeah. 208 yards receiving is crazy.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, man. And South Carolina State, 36-30. William Atkins, the fourth, lit up with 363 passing yards. As FCSU, South Carolina State, them dogs held off the Bears, who put a late charge in. I know, like, I'm so confused about Morgan State, man.
I am too, man. I'm just hoping Damon Wilson it's like they get close and then look like they farther apart. So I'm hoping Damon Wilson can somehow pull it together, man. But you know, people get impatient.
Yeah. And he's getting talent. But I honestly think they got a quarterback right now. They got a redshirt freshman that can ball. I like him.
He's young.
Yeah, and he's a winner. Like, he's won state titles in Maryland. So I'm hoping to see what he can do. Now we're going to go from the MEAC, and Josh is going to tell us about the CIAA.
So in the CIAA, Lord have mercy, we started off bad. Virginia Union, Bluefield State, my God. 70-14. They almost scored 100 points in a college football game, man.
Hold on, Josh. I think Curtis Allen just ran for another 40 yards just now.
He did. I just seen him coming past the highway. I just seen him. He running from West Virginia to North Carolina. I think he finna come say hey to you, Vaughn, down here in Tallahassee. That man had
4 yards, man.
That's insane. He almost had 400 yards with 5 touchdowns. Dog, that's insane, man. And then we're gonna move on to Virginia State. You know, we got, I ain't gonna lie, we gotta stop scheduling this team. Lincoln, we gotta, you know, I understand, you know what I'm saying? It's late in the season. You gotta play who's in front of you, but you know, everybody gotta get their one little lick in. So Virginia State gets the win over Lincoln, PA, 35-14. Then the biggest surprise to me, which is not really a surprise, Elizabeth City State. They showing up, man. Elizabeth City State gets the win over Bowie State, 28-27. Hey, man, Elizabeth City stormed all the way back to get that win in that game, man. Shout out to Elizabeth City State, man. They have been putting together some good film, some good games. They just haven't been able to close out on some of these games. For the Hampton game, you know, they wasn't able to close that one out. And some other games down the road, they wasn't able to close out. But, bro, they got some pretty impressive wins for that program being to where it used to be in the past couple of years. So, shout out to Elizabeth City State, man. And then to end it all off, my alums, my illustrious Livingstone College, where I graduated from, alum myself, had homecoming this past weekend. Did I go? No, I did not. Wasn't able to make it. But they played Shaw University, who is the real bear of the CIAA conference. Livingstone showed up and showed out. Livingstone showed up and showed out with an impressive 43-13 win over the Shaw Bears on homecoming on that blue turf. I can tell you guys right now, from seeing all my old friends out there, it was a ball out there. It was a great time on the yard. They had a great time at the concert. It was $50 to get in and get on the campus. So the people that was there, they were there for the greater good. You know what I'm saying? Thankfully, not as to this moment, I haven't heard anything wow that's happened over there. thankfully, happy for that. But yeah, man, that's pretty much the wrap up for the CIAA. And then, hey, we're going to swing it back to Kobe. Swing it back.
Yo, so I just want, since you shouting out, I want to give a little shout out to Delaware. That's where R.J. Matthews and Sean Matthews is from. You know what I mean? One of the best bright young quarterbacks. I'm just saying that. But now we're going to hit the SIAC, Albany State. Vaughn, is that what game were you at?
That's the game I went to.
21-18. Tell us a little bit about it.
Albany State clinched the first seed in the SIAC by beating Savannah State. Game was a lot closer than it should have been. But if you think about it, they had homecoming last week, and then they got Fort Valley, their rival, this week. That Savannah State game was a trap game from the beginning. And Quig Ray was not happy at first half, but he willed the Albany State Golden Rams to lock up that number 1 seed. So they will be hosting the SIAC championship on November 15th at the Albany State Coliseum. And it's just a matter of who they're playing. But Isaiah Knowles, let me tell you, the quarterback for Albany State, I keep talking about him. I have never seen this in my life happen. He knows that offense so well. So they're running a no huddle offense. They got Savannah State on their heels. and one play they were inside the red zone. When they got inside the red zone, they get ready to call a play. The ball was actually snapped and like 4 refs blew the whistle. And Queen Gray is furious. Why y'all stopping play? The refs literally said we weren't set. We weren't ready. That's how fast this kid knows the offense, and they are just that offense is on point. Everybody knows what everybody's doing. It was literally a work of art watching them do a no huddle offense. Quinn Gray's and see, that's what Quinn Gray used to do at FAMU under head coach Billy Joe. The quarterbacks, he trained them to call the plays, so he didn't have to signal a play in every time. They understood what the assignment was. So to see Isaiah Knowles, who is on track to possibly be the SIAC Player of the Year, to see him run that offense and them get that win, it was a great day in Albany State, and they're looking forward to hosting. First, they're looking forward to getting their getting these next 2 games out of the way. Of course, get the Fountain City Classic. It's Fountain City Classic against their rival Fort Valley State, and then to come home to host the SIAC championship.
I hear that. And don't they call it Albany or Albany?
Albany. The people there call it Albany.
Albany.
I get it confused. Right. I get it confused every time, so I ain't even gonna try to pronounce it.
And then on the other side in the SIAC, a disappointing loss for Edward Waters to Central State. Man, very, very unexpected. So the SIAC has this deal to try to get more teams in the playoffs. It's like the Georgia Conference. Another conference, they have a deal that the 3rd or 4th place team will play an additional game at the end of the year to try to get their wins up. So they had scheduled that game, and it is going to be played at Edward Waters. But Edward Waters losing this game kind of makes that game less meaningful. It makes it kind of meaningless. I applaud the 2 conferences for getting together, because that's very smart, because when you're looking at the Division II playoffs, they're looking at number of wins. So adding an extra game on the end gives one team a chance to get an extra win to possibly get in the playoffs.
And so that's what this time though is for. Like that's when everything is either we gonna make it or you gonna break it. You know? And so and hopefully, but they're gonna need a little help. And yes, Edward Waters is turning into a pumpkin. But we got something for that. We'll talk about it in a little bit. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Well, let me say this about Edward. I got to say this about Edward Waters. Brian Jenkins had 0 time to recruit. Remember, he just took the job like right before the season. So he has told me, quote, they better get me now. So I have heard that before when he was at Bethune-Cookman. and it held true. Once he got in there and got his system in place and got his people, he was hard to beat. So I think that especially the win over Virginia Union at the beginning of the season made expectations way too high for him to come in and take a team that was there. They did great. He's doing a great job. The improvement is there. His recruiting is going to be off the chain because of the high profile that they've made at Edward Waters this year. So I really expect Brian Jenkins to be competing for the SIAC championship next year.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Out of 10 times, how many times does Edward Waters beat Virginia Union?
Out of 10 times when?
If they played them 10 times this year, how many times would Edward Waters beat Virginia Union?
That game was a close game too.
That game came down to a field goal. Remember that game was that game came down to a field goal. In Brian Jenkins did a great job to get his team ready to play that game. They made it a bigger game, and so there were a lot of elements that had Edward Waters motivated. On the other hand, Alvin Parker was replacing a lot of people, and they weren't playing like they're playing now. I wouldn't put anybody up against Virginia Union right now.
And it's similar. It's early in the season, trying to get the chemistry together. That's the perfect time to get them. So we're going to finish this rundown. Fort Valley State, 24 to 14 miles. The Wildcats controlled the second half. And Kentucky State, I would say,
impressive.
They horse raced Clark, 43-28.
Impressive to me.
Yeah. The SIAC is getting interested. Now we're going to finish up with our last conference before we get into some of these interesting other games that we're going to talk about. We'll get into the SWAC before we get into B to A's, and we'll get a little bit more from Vaughan when we get to B to A's. Go ahead, Josh.
So in the SWAC, we're going to start off with Grambling State and Alabama A&M. Grambling State coming off that hot game versus JSU. People ask, is it just a one-time thing? Is they going to get too high on the win? You know, it was a little rocky at one point, but they were able to manage to come out with the victory over Alabama A&M. Great win for Grambling State. I think the G-men looking pretty solid. They're looking solid. You know, Alabama A&M is not they're not an elite team. They're not a great team, even though they're probably still recovering from that whooping they just got from Alabama State. But I think they're still a competitive, good team. And for the G-men to come in and get that win, I think that was a great win. Then we got Bethune-Cookman and Mississippi Valley, man. I ain't gonna lie, this game was a little bit more closer than I expected it to be. Bethune-Cookman gets the win 42-34. And I thought this was gonna be that win that Bethune stamps and shows the rest of the SWAC that, hey, we are here. The program is going in the right direction. We're trying to dominate one of the weaker teams in the SWAC, and we're going to put everybody else on notice. They let Valley hang around a little bit. They let Valley mess around, get a couple points, get a couple drives together. You know, they made Valley look a little bit more better than what they really are. You know, so now I'm kind of questioning. I'm kind of reeling back on Bethune now. So now it's like, okay, Bethune, like you had your chance to go in and leave your mark right here. You know what I'm saying? And y'all didn't take advantage of the opportunity. Like people say all the time, whenever you got a bad team, you got to go out there and beat them. You can't give them no life. You got to go out there and dominate. Bethune dominated, but they ain't really dominated in the fashion I really wanted them to dominate for the rest of, because they have a chance to ruin some people's season coming up. So they need to get on a little hot streak. So yeah, we got that. And what did you say, Kobe?
I was gonna say, but that's sometimes with a team that's starting to gel. They gotta have some ups and downs and get that mental focus together.
Yes.
You know, Vaughn's been around. What do you say, Vaughan? You've been around them more than us.
Yeah, listen. One thing about Cookman, this is one of the most explosive teams.
Yes.
In black college football, from kick returns to long passes, long runs, interception, they make big plays. So it's an exciting brand of football to watch. Nice kick return they had this year. This week as I saw the highlights, just they've got a speedy kick returner. Of course, number 6. His name escapes me right now. I still say he's one of the best receivers in the SWAC.
From Bethune?
Yes.
Malik.
Yep.
Oh my
gosh.
Yeah, he's a dog.
That
He's a
dude
dog.
runs some stupid routes, dude. He like Madden out there. And he got hands and he got speed. So he's dangerous to help Bethune to beat anybody. And, you know, just like me, everybody knows one thing about me. I love former players as coaches. So, you know, the article I wrote a couple years ago, give Woody a chance, give TC Taylor a chance. Both of them have proven me to be right. Not just any player. It has to be the right player, you know, that played on the team. But there's just a passion there that you're going to work those extra hours and do whatever it takes to help your alma mater. You're not just there for a check.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
tighten
man.
this up with the last one, Josh.
And then the last one, we actually got one more I think we kind of forgot about. But the last one that we have on our list right now is Alcorn State getting the win versus Texas Southern. You know, Alcorn State rushed for over 200 yards. I mean, my God, I think to me personally, that was a game of just straight up domination on the ground. Like, they showed you how to dominate a game and how to put a full game together. Even though, you know, Texas Southern, they scored a couple points, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But Alcorn State went down there and handled business and dominated that game. And then we also forgot Alabama State getting the clutch win over PV. And they did it without Andrew Body. Now, PV has been doing a lot of talking. They've been doing a lot of talking, from the podcast to the fans to the. I ain't gonna do too much about the coach because he asked the fans to come out and they still disappointed him. I mean, come on, PV. What are we doing? What are we doing? The man said, come out to the game, come support. It's a big time game. I tuned into the game. It's me and Kobe, and it's the HBCU game day staff on the sidelines. That's it. I'm like, what's going on? Like, y'all ain't got nobody out here to support. This is a big time major game. And Alabama State found a way, fight, itch, crawl, do everything they could to get the win in the game. And now PV had a chance to show, hey, this defense is brand new. This defense is revamped. Our offense, we're looking good. Whenever Andrew Body went down, I personally, because I was filming, when he went down, I'm like, oh God, that might mess up Alabama State's chances to potentially go in the FCS playoffs. But then they found a way to come back and win. They found a way to win the game over PV. Whenever I've been hearing so much, I've barely watched any PV football the whole season, but I hear so much that I feel like I don't need to watch as much because they got as many podcasts as they got players on the team. So I hear so much about PV all the time, and I tune into the game, and I'm like, wait a minute, where's Andrew Body? I check Twitter, Andrew Body's out, been ruled out for the game. I'm like, okay, cool, PV got it. They still fumble the bag. So it's like, I mean, y'all, PV fans, I can't wait to tune into these podcasts this week because I want to know what y'all got to say.
And you got to watch, because if you say something about PV, you got to have your boxing gloves on. It's like talking about North Carolina Central. The coach want all the smoke.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. With all due respect to the PV fans, man, I've been out there. I went out there a couple years ago. Amazing atmosphere. I had an amazing time out there. And I'm going to just call a spade because I done got called out already from yesterday that we're going to talk about later.
We'll get to that.
We done got called out, but hey, man, y'all do a lot of talking. Y'all had a chance to back it up, and y'all didn't.
Yeah. Well, look, we're going to get there. The scoreboard had some tight races, some statement wins, and a few folks who took the long ride home in silence. So we're going to talk about the games that get ugly. The ones we call B to A. Right? And the B to A is 21-point blowouts or more.
Pass the sticks.
We talked a little bit about the first one. Virginia Union, 70-14, Bluefield State in West Virginia. Curtis Allen, 5 touchdowns, 374 yards. Last year, they put up close to 70. I think it's personal. It got to be. You beat the team twice by like 70. Like,
yeah, that's
you got to not like somebody to do that.
Right.
That's disrespectful.
Because general sportsmanship, you won't run the score up like that on a team you got any kind of inkling of respect or care for. You're not going to do that. You're going to. But then again, they did it running, so you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It'd be different. They're not passing. They're going. You would think handing the ball off in the middle of the line you know, you think it'll get 4 yards in a cloud of dust, but that boy Curtis Allen is just different, bro.
And then nobody
handing
wants
the
to
ball
tackle
off to
him
him is like throwing a deep pass sometimes.
Yeah,
Handing the ball off to Curtis Allen sometimes is like throwing a bomb. I mean, it's equivalent.
And I know, like, I feel for Bluefield State. I played for Cheney, and we got beat goddamn to 7. So, I'm like, by Virginia State. So, I understand them. Next, Vaughn, you were at this game. I don't want you to get too deep, but Jackson State 41, Florida A&M 16. Do you think Jackson State found the swagger?
I think they did, and in their backup quarterback. And let me tell you what I feel is the story of the game.
Okay.
The story of the game is Jacobian Morgan was out, but TC Taylor told him, I need you on this trip, and brought him and roomed him with Jared, the quarterback, the freshman. So they roomed together, and Jacobian was on the sideline. I walked by the bench when the first half, when I got his last name. First name's Jared Lockhart. I'm sorry. Jared Lockhart. When Lockhart would come out in the first half, Jacobian would be coaching him up. And dude, I got a picture of it. And dude, it almost brought a tear to your eye because that's the ultimate teammate.
Yeah,
that's the ultimate teammate, bro. And so then they came out one time right before the end of the half, and Jacobian had the iPad, and he was showing Lockhart something on the iPad. Well, guess what? He came out the second half, and then that dude ran that offense like an experienced quarterback. So to me, Jacobian Morgan gets the co-MVP of the game because you got a rookie quarterback, and as TC Taylor said, in one of the toughest places to play, whether the team doing good or not, the band's going to be loud, the fans going to be loud, the sound system is loud. Bragg is a tough place to play. With all of that going on, Jacobian, his presence was felt on the field, even though he wasn't on the field. So to me, that's the story of the game. Once Lockhart settled in, he ran the offense, may have had better legs than Jacobian. There were several times plays broke down and dude was scat for 15, 20 yards. So I think TC has found his quarterback of the future that can really take them as far as they need to go this year.
I try to tell y'all, man. I told y'all, man, that kid is from Charlotte, North Carolina. Hometown kid. I filmed him multiple times. The kid is super talented. He was a 4-star quarterback coming out of high school his senior year. He didn't have the offers that he liked, so he went over to Jackson State just because he's over there and he's a 3rd-string quarterback. His talent doesn't define how talented the kid is. And Vaughn seen it up close in person. The kid got legs and can run anytime he wants. And he hasn't even shown us, well, he's shown spurts of it, but his best trait is his deep ball accuracy. He's a deep ball thrower. Like
I haven't got to see him yet, so now you're gonna make me go back and watch some film. I'm figure out how that's going. No, I'm gonna go check it out.
You need to check out. I would say you need to check out dude because I'm telling you, we're gonna if this kid stays at Jackson, we're gonna be talking about him for the next couple of years.
Oh, so somebody said Lockhart's older brother is supposed to sign with JSU.
Hey, listen, his older brother is just as good, and he got a younger brother. They triplets. He got triplet brothers. I'm telling you.
We'll come back. We got the last B to A real quick is Benedict 42-10 over the doormat of HBCU football, Virginia University Lynchburg.
They had to get it. They had to get them one in after the L that they just took this past week. They had to get something back because you know what I'm saying. Like they had to get something back in blood after the L, the massive L that they just took this past weekend. So they're like, you know what, bro? Let's just go ahead and whoop up on these boys, take our frustration out.
No,
okay. I can't blame. I can't blame.
So would you call these losses lessons?
No. No. I don't for the specific reason on I don't think FAMU's loss is a lesson. I don't think the Lynchburg loss is a lesson. They've been if that's the case, then they've been learning lessons for 3 seasons straight. They ain't got the message yet. Bluefield State, that loss ain't that's just Bluefield State. So I don't think that it's lessons at all. I think these are just I don't want to say it because I don't want to get clipped. They're just bad football teams.
Well, when I interviewed Coach Taylor after the game, the first thing I asked him was like, Coach, what did you say to the team at halftime? Because it was 10-3 at the half. Jackson State was up. He's like, I told them to get their ass in the game and let's do what we're supposed to do. you know, and you could see the look on his face when he told me that he had to snap them out of being in Bragg. And I hate to say this to the PV people, but I think it was like 15,000 people at the game. I think Jackson probably bought 4,000 with them. So what I'm talking about, the difference is in a fan base, and how a fan base can help a team. That corner where those people are, with all those fans, with the sonic boom was there, it was electric, bro. It was electric from beginning till through the fifth quarter. I'm not a band guy. I'm a football guy. I had to sit and listen to that. Fifth quarter was super competitive. But the point is, when your players are in a battle and they hear some resemblance of home, you hear your fan song, you hear your fight song, you hear the fans chanting defense when you need to stop. That all makes a difference. So Prairie View's coach has a point. Prairie View fans need to get off their ass and get out to the game and support those players. I remember when I played, I love to hear my fans, especially at home. I don't think I ever played in a game at home with less than 15, 16,000. You know what I'm saying? So I can't fathom you trying to beg fans to come out. It's your school.
It makes a world of a difference to whenever you need a third down stop and you've been struggling all game and your fans come into the game. And like, I don't think fans really understand how important like getting involved into the game is. Like, you can literally carry a team off of straight momentum to a win. Literally.
Right.
Seen it multiple times, played in it multiple times. So just the simple of a band playing a song or the crowd is starting to chant on third down and you getting a stop, that momentum can help players. And going all the way back to the pep rally when the players was booing, when the players was getting booed and stuff, that stuff really does take a toll on the mental of the players. Because now it's like, what are we playing for? Our own fans and the supporters, the students don't support us. So now it's like we ain't got no support. So now we finna go out there, even though we're already playing somewhat decent, somewhat fighting against Jackson State in a 10-3 game. This is a game where y'all could possibly come alive and at least compete in the game in the second half, like I did in the first half. But then whenever you got that, oh, they don't care about us, they ain't really here for us. Oh, they left the game. So that stuff takes a toll.
It does. It wears you down.
It really does.
I want to move. We talked about Jackson State a little bit, and we know that they're kind of rolling. So right now, I want to move into our next segment. Is it hot or not? Right? My first person for hot or not, Curtis Allen.
I don't even think there's a word to describe that. Like steaming, burning, lava. I don't think hot is a.
How about surface word of the sun?
I mean, blazing.
Yeah.
All right. I got another one. Josh gonna like this one. James Jones.
Hey, listen, I'm going hot. Like I'm going. Here it go. I'm going stove pan hot. Like your mama told you not to put your hand on the stove, and you still put it on there, knowing good and well you shouldn't put it on there. That's the type of hot that he is. I think me and Kobe talked about this personally. I think he's the best back on that team, man. I think James Jones is the best back on that team. So I'm going steaming hot, fresh off the stove.
I think he is the big play back, but that Gillis is a specimen.
He's a dog.
He's a specimen. All right. Now I just forgot his name. Shaw. What do you think about Shaw? Hot or not?
Not hot. Not hot at all. I mean, that might. I don't even think that's even mild. It ain't even spicy. It ain't got no tang to it. That's the type of hot that ain't got no taste. It's just hot. It's just nothing. Like
it's lukewarm.
Yeah, lukewarm. Yeah, like it's
I got two more. I got one for Steve. He ain't here. Dalen Lee.
I'm gonna go hot. I'm gonna go hot. It's not really about the offense with Winston. It's about that defense. So I'm gonna go hot.
All right. Last one, Vaughn. You can appreciate this one. Edward Waters.
After this week, I don't know. What you say, Vaughn?
I think with Edward Waters, you have to. You can't. They're lukewarm right now.
Okay.
But I guarantee you, in 2026, they're
Steam
gonna be fire hot. When you get
Steam
Brian Jenkins time to go through Florida and grab up these dudes, mark my words, you can write it down, put a pin in it. His energy, his dedication. I talked to him last week. You know, he was not happy with the way the team is playing, but he just can't substitute dudes right now. You know what I'm saying? So give him a chance. And I think the energy and the fact that the president, the alumni, everybody supports it. The opposite of what we were talking about. Everybody supports it, is waiting for that powder keg. So they got the support. So just give him a little time. And I think next year they powder keg.
I got you. So Allen and Jones are red hot, right? We got Shaw, ice cold, and we got Edward Waters, lukewarm. This that water that you leave sitting on the counter that been sitting there all day.
Yeah. It's room temperature.
Yeah, room temperature. Yeah, it's room temperature.
Because you either heating up or cooling off.
Right.
But now we're gonna move into homecoming hangovers, and we had some of those. Like FAMU, was their energy drained after a huge week last week?
I don't think so. I just think Jackson State found a rhythm that FAMU didn't have the coaching answer to. I'm not going to say we didn't have the personnel or whatever. I think FAMU didn't have the coaching answer to what Jackson State was throwing at them. And real quick before you go, Kobe, and we're talking about the whole system of a school working together. Man, Ashley Robinson was on that sideline going up and down, giving the refs the business, upset. He supports you. When you got somebody that supports you and puts their all in, not only during the daytime, but is there by your side during the game, will fight for you and this, that, and other. I just wanted to throw that in because that does make a difference. When everybody's on one accord, that helps the team when all the systems are working together.
Yep.
So here's my other one. Fayetteville State. Was that a homecoming hangover?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I think it just goes into how good JCSU's defense is. Like JCSU's defense held Fayetteville State scoreless for 3.5 quarters. So Fayetteville State had one job.
I'm watching that quote there.
Fayetteville State's offense hasn't really been Coach Flowers even said it himself, that offense is not built to come back from being down. That offense is an offense that wants to run the ball and hold the time of possession. And Coach Flowers took that into his own hands. So whenever they kicked that field goal early in the game, they already had the 3 points. He knew that his defense was going to be able to hold them down because that offense isn't really as explosive for real. If you can contain Bryce Council on the runs, the offense is not that explosive. So I don't think it was a hangover. I think they just played a very, very good Dusty Smith team, and they had a questionable call on 4th down, which with the last second with the game on the line, they had a questionable call on the defensive side on 4th down. But I think they played a good game. I just think they played a better team.
Hey, last one. See if y'all both Miles. Was that a homecoming hangover?
I mean,
Miles been close all year, but it's just like they can't get over the hump. It's like they've been close in so many. I'll bet Miles has 3 1-score losses or something like that this year. It's just close, but no bananas. They can't take it across the goal line.
I wish Steve was here to sing that Brandy song. Almost ain't good enough or something like that. He sings it all the time.
Almost no count.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Almost no
count. Yeah. All right, so now we're gonna get into our little corners, our Road Warrior corner at the end. We'll start with you, Vaugh. Even in the loss, was it like a festival over there at FAMU like it normally is?
Man, I'm telling you, that 5th quarter was something stupid, bro. I mean, they had to bring it both. I'm not the band guy, but this is like my first time where I was just compelled to listen to these two bands. Okay, so first I had to interview TC afterwards, so we had to go to the opposite side of the field because Jackson moved from their end of the field so that they're straight across the field from FAMU.
I seen that on TikTok. It's going crazy on TikTok.
That's some serious. These bands prepare on a level that we just absolutely don't even think about. They think about every detail. But let me tell you, man, that multi-drill FAMU did at halftime was stupid. The formations they made, and then they had on lighted hats nobody knew. They got in a formation of a man sitting at a piano, turned the lights off, and everybody saw it, and the crowd went bananas.
I seen that.
Even the Jackson State fans were like, all right, y'all got us with that one.
Now that was hot. That was hot. That was the only thing hot that came out of FAMU.
Well, now they did the something else where they made a formation and the arrow was pointing right at Jackson State too. I was like, ooh, this is crazy. Yeah, but the bands did their thing. That was a high level band competition. And this is something they could never capture in the Battle of the Bands. You can't capture that because it takes too much time to capture all of the elements that a band director and his staff and the band members can put together. It can't be fit in a box. And I think that's the frustration that some of those band directors are having, that like, I can only be in this little box, and my presentation is so much more than that. So
yeah. So, and that's having, when you talk about, you got to have people that are tied into the culture, tapped in to truly understand all those things, and they have to be involved in setting what the rubric is for success. Yeah. But from what you're telling me, John Vaughan, Jackson State won the game, but FAMU still winning, or the culture in Florida still belongs to FAMU.
Oh, the culture without a question. I'll give Jackson State credit. Like, what's crazy, what we're talking about these fans and how they support, I swear, I haven't been to the vet in a decade, but I swear some of the same people that are waving the Jackson State flag, that white flag, that the blue blanket, I saw some of those same people. And that is what you need. And FAM has those people. They're going to go, I don't care who you playing. If it's in Alaska, you're going to have some FAMU fans that are going to be there. And I think this is what so many schools that don't have that tradition are missing, because you need that. When you're in intermediary territory, you need some folks. FAMU had as many people as Southern last week in Baton Rouge. Mm. Everybody says FAMU had as many fans in Southern as Baton Rouge. When the game got out of hand, there was more FAMU fans than Southern fans there. So the point is, you gotta support your squad. You gotta support your squad.
And that I'll get to that, but I'm gonna go to Josh. You were in Fayetteville.
Yep.
See, I personally believe CIAA football is some of the most entertaining football in the country. So tell me about the game and how was it, and the energy and everything behind it.
I'm gonna be honest. The energy up until Fayetteville scored that second touchdown was kind of bad. I'm gonna be honest. For it being somewhat win and get into the playoffs for the championship, CIAA championship, it wasn't as many fans at the game as I would have expected. You know, it wasn't as many people there at the game as I would have expected. Like, if you go and watch the YouTube video, or if you go and watch Brick by Brick that our guy Wiley Pitt just killed, you will see the fans weren't, like, at the first start of the game, like, there wasn't that many fans there. It wasn't that hype. So the atmosphere was kind of drained until Fayetteville showed spark and showed life late in the game. Now, the game, oh my God. I was talking to Wiley because me and Wiley was there at the game. He was like, yeah, man, what you gonna do for the video for this game? I'm looking at him like, I don't know what game you filming, but I ain't got nothing to work with right now. I ain't got nothing. Like, it wasn't nothing. It was straight defense, punt, get down the field, punt, run, punt, one pass, great, punt, run, field goal, punt, run. I'm like, dog, like, what's going on? It ain't no action going on. The final score at the first half was 10-0. I mean, in the first touchdown was a 4-yard QB scramble run that he powered through 5 people to score. So it was like, bro, like, and we like as content creators, like we love good games like it was Saturday, but we also want some footage to work with now. Like we want some good clips, we want some passing yards down the field, we want some juke moves, some truck sticks, some big hits. It was just a good old classic, good fashionable football game. Like from a viewer's perspective, you would have loved that game. If you love football, you would have loved that game. But it was a great game. Now, like I said, the first half was dead, but the second half was where the second half and the fourth quarter is where the fireworks went off, man. Fayetteville State finally, I don't know what got into the offensive coordinator's head, but they said, maybe let's throw the ball. Like maybe let's just try it. Like let's just try it. And they tried it and they ended up scoring. They ended up getting pass interference on a double move. So that pass interference set up Bryce Council for a 20-yard touchdown. Johnson C. Smith comes back down the field, tries to score. The defense got the momentum. They got to stop. Like I said, crowd got a little bit involved. Very next possession. Offensive coordinator again, maybe I should try to throw the ball again. What happens? RPO 70 yards, like 60 yards to the house. 60 yards to the house. Now it's electric. Now it's lit. I'm like, okay. I look back a while. He's like, you got something to work now? I'm like, yeah, I got something to cook with it now. Like, so then I'm like, now, Wally, what they going to do? It's the fourth quarter. Johnson C. Smith doing what they do. They go down the field. They punt. I'm like, oh, snap. Like, they going to get the ball back to Fayetteville. But Coach Flowers was talking to the quarterback. He was like, hey, trust me. We got this. I trust our defense. They've been playing good all day. Yes, they got some momentum right now, but trust me, we got this. And if you like, you can go back and you can go and watch brick by Wally Pitt. You will see him talking to his quarterback, letting him know, like, stay calm. We're good. Even though it's 5 minutes left, stay calm. We're good. Like, calming him down the whole time on the sideline. And that just goes to shout out Coach Flowers and being a great coach because he kept his team composed the whole time. Even whenever they was coming back, he was like, bro, just stay composed, staying calm. We good. We got this. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't recall, 2.5, 3 years ago, this same exact type of game happened with Fayetteville State and Smith, but Fayetteville State was the victors in the end that came out and got the touchdown at the end of the game. But this year, Coach Flowers was not going to let that happen. So Johnson Smith defense got to stop. They came back down the field. It was a questionable call, but Johnson C. Smith threw a deep ball down the field right in front of my camera. Pass interference, put them right inside the red zone. Was it pass interference? I'm going to be honest. It was a lot of hand fighting going on. I don't like the flag in that moment because whenever it's two offensive defensive player battling, I'd rather not be a flag for that important game. They come down. It's 4th and 14. 4th and 14. Johnson C. Smith calls a pass play, of course, and Fayetteville State drops 8 in the cover. So if you know football, they're dropping 8 in the cover, so they're only rushing 3. The DN tries to loop around and contain the quarterback. And if you guys know, you guys who play football, you know, as soon as that DN loops around in 3-man rush, it opens up a huge rushing lane right in between the guard and the tackle. When I tell y'all that quarterback broke that run, and you would have thought he was Ricky from that one movie. Ricky! He was running. I ain't see him pick up his knees that fast in the whole game. He was running. And when I seen it, it was like, y'all know how like you film it so, and it's like a slow motion. And it's like everything's just going to like I like seeing him run in slow motion. I'm like, man, that's the game right there, man. That's the game. He runs for the first down, picks up the first down. It's like maybe 45 seconds left. Then they call this run play. I like the 9-yard line, rush in on the first play. 33 seconds left. Johnson C. Smith takes the lead and now goes up by 3. And they were just down. And they went down to score with like less than 3 minutes left in the game. And then as the story goes, Johnson C. Smith gets the win, man. And man, that game was, like I said, it was dead in the first 3 quarters, but that fourth quarter lit it up. It was on fire. Amazing game. Shout out to Coach Flowers for finally getting over that hump with Fayetteville State, which they haven't been able to do in the past. Finally was able to get over that hump. And if you guys checked on the HBCU Game Day Instagram, then you guys seen like him crying and being very, very emotional after the game. He talked about it in the press conference, like, man, like to be able to fight through adversity after we had went through the same situation 2 years ago, but come on the other side of the end of the stick. But this time being able to get over that hump, it was a lot to him. So shout out to
what did the players say to you?
Oh, so it was one particular player that after Johnson C. Smith scored with 33 seconds, I'm walking back to like get a good clip of the quarterback. He's walking beside the bench. Oh, I remember you. you was doing all that talking on that show about Fayetteville. Yeah, I remember you. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, dog. I'm just about the game. I'm just speaking about the game. So he was like, yeah, I remember you. We remember that. You see that scoreboard? I'm like, hey, man, I got nothing but respect for you. Then after the game was over, one of the coaches came up himself and was like, we seen y'all on that show on Sundays and Tuesdays. We seen what y'all said about Fayetteville. We seen how y'all said about how they gonna stop the run. Is that in the third? One of our running backs got 100 yards and had a game-winning field goal, had a game-winning touchdown. And I'm like, listen, man, a real man can respect whenever he was wrong. And y'all called me out, I got it. Shook them up, doubt them up. They said they loved the show. They said that they just wanted some extra billboard material. So I want you guys to know we are providing the billboard material out here. But shout out to Jackson Smith, man. They got the dub in a great game.
Now that you said that, happy birthday to Steve.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Yeah, they was looking for Steve too.
They was looking for him. He said, the coach said, and I quote, why didn't y'all do the Division II show? We beat the crap out of Fayetteville. He was like, we beat the crap out of Winston, and they ain't want to do the show on too. I'm like, listen, that ain't my show, big dog. That ain't my show. That's my pay rate. So Steve, you got people calling you out now. I know it's your birthday. Have fun, relax. Don't take too many drinks. Have a great time though. But you got some Smith people on your head now. You got some
All I can say is what Steve would say. Ram, ram, ram. Well, look, yo, it was popping in Philly. So shout out, Simone was on here. I hope she's still on here.
Simone.
Yo, Simone did a fantastic job.
Oh my God, that coverage was off the charts, man.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Yo, first of all, I'm gonna get mad for a second. I told y'all that we in the North love football. Everybody went, y'all play basketball. It's too much to do in the North. Nah, bro. They gave us a reason to come out, and we showed up. And I'm telling you, first of all, I'm gonna tell you what was dope. Normally, when you see HBCUs play at a pro game, they don't make any concessions or do extra things for the team.
Yeah.
When you went in there, it looked like it was Dell State Stadium. They
Wow.
painted the field. They had where it's normally green and white. Simone had to hit me because I'm not an Eagles fan. And it was red, white, and blue at the top for the Dell State colors. You seen the banners all over the thing that said Delaware
a lot
State.
Of the banners. It was a lot of banners.
Listen. And then they packed the stadium. I've been in the Giants Stadium. I've been down in the Georgia Dome. I've been in Red Bull Stadium. Even the stadium in Canton, Ohio for the Hall of Fame game. And it's never full. When you watch the game, it never looks full. Man, listen. That game, and it was high energy. You heard the Norfolk State fans and the Delaware State fans cheering, screaming the whole game. It was different for me, for them too. What would you Gary say, Josh?
I got something to say about that, but I'm gonna let you finish. I'll come back at the end. I'll come back after you get done.
But yeah, don't interrupt me. I ain't interrupt you. But yo, like, and it was like both teams came to play. But it was a different energy. Like Coach Jackson in high energy, up, ready to go. The players was up, ready to go. Norfolk State was calm and almost was looking at it like, what is this? Like the feeling I got, like, are they here to really, really play? Or do they feel like it's a warm-up? But once the kickoff hit and everything went going, they was coming to win. And it was close. You didn't know. I still didn't know until like the fourth quarter whether or not Dell State was going to win, and like Norfolk State wasn't slowing down. I mean, it was. And then another thing, we were sitting there, and I was like, they ain't bringing a band, they ain't got no cheerleaders. They showed up right before halftime, man, and they got me because I sat up on the home side to go watch. They turned their back on all of us and played to their fans. Yo. But they played, man. It was that Dell State band. I'm telling you, they got that new band director, Dell State band, doing something a little different. I'm liking the end. Just you starting to, that felt like an HBCU game in a pro stadium, and I never felt like it being in a pro stadium. I never felt like an HBCU game. You had the bands going back and forth, you know. Then they hyped it up because they treated it like a pro game. They had the cameras on, people up in the stands. I mean, like. It was beautiful. The cookouts in the tailgate. I was like, the traffic was bananas. That was what killed me. It took me an extra 45 minutes, and I was already in Philly. So I went to Philly early. Then I tried to get from down Center City, Philly, to the stadium, which is in South Philly, and it took me 45 minutes for a normal 10-minute drive. I mean, people was there. They had the Winnebagos. Shout out to Simone. I heard she had her Winnebago. It was crazy. Look, you got the Eagles players, Brandon Graham, Hugh Douglas, Marshawn Lynch was there, Meek Mill, Freeway, Young Chris,
Cam
was there, and there was a few others you didn't get to see because they all didn't come down, but they were there, and they were doing their little walk. It was funny because you know when somebody did a walkthrough, they come in one end zone, walk all the way straight out to the other. But Cam hung out, talked to people, took pictures. He didn't let you do an interview. I didn't realize, like I know I'm a little guy, but Cam huge, man.
Cam is huge.
He made Marshawn Lynch look little.
Wow.
Like he's a big dude, and man, listen, I'm gonna tell you this, man. Delaware State looked like they had a homecoming hangover. Short week, emotional game, trying to get back, and they just couldn't get in the rhythm, anything. And luckily, Otto Coombs wasn't automatic this game. The secondary was getting cooked. And I love, like, Del State's defense. They play the run well. They got to get more pressure on the passer, and their secondary got to cover better because that's their only weakness. And a little bit of better pass blocking, that's their only weakness. I love it, and they're a fighter. And I do James Jones, like he was talking about James Jones. He's like the talker, the verbal, or the heartbeat like that.
Yeah.
But Gillis is the motor. He's silent. He don't say much, but he's bashing your face in every time he get a chance to hit you. I mean, and listen, Vaughn, I never had I had fun at the game. Now I get mad games like this because you be like, I've been shooting them all year. Now y'all in the way, right? Right. You ain't want to be here any other time, but it was a beautiful experience. So now I got a question for both of y'all. Do you think true HBCU football is ready for its northern version of that?
You've been telling us to get prepared for it from the first time you saw Delaware State. You was like, yo, something was different. So I started trying to figure out what you were talking about, but not being there, I couldn't see it. He was like, yo, the band different. The band sound good at Delaware State. Nobody's ever says nobody before, ever like, you know what I'm saying? And then, talking about Delaware being good, late 80s, they had some good teams, but that's how far it goes back. So for them to come back with Deshaun and put on what they've done this year, it's been some roller coasters. It's been up and down. You expect that. His first year, first time being a coach. And I'm going to tell you, even Michael Vick, I think he's getting better. He is getting better. They don't have the wins to show for it, but you can see his speed of thinking and adjusting in the game has tremendously increased from the beginning of the season. So I'm just thinking, listen, it's Norfolk's home game next year. It needs to be back there. If they want to have it back there, because the visuals, even watching on TV, just had so much emotion to it, bro. And at the end, when Deshaun and Vic was hugging, it was like, bro, I'm about to shed a tear out here. You know what I'm saying? These HBCUs being celebrated. Of course, they got these great former football players leading the teams, but that's something that no player from definitely Delaware State or Norfolk as of late has experienced anything like that.
Yeah, that was like a pro game, bro.
It felt like a pro game. They treated it like that, just like you said. That's what it looked like at home. It looked like a professional game.
What you got to say, Josh?
I mean, so I've been going back and forth with some people about it, and don't get me wrong, I'm 1,000% happy that the game was there. I'm happy with the turnout. I'm happy with everything about the game. I just don't want people to get rat poisoned, is what I call it. And I took it from Nick Saban. I don't want people to get rat poisoned by the numbers and the attendance of the game and stuff like we had before. Because whenever we have these celebrity coaches that coach at these HBCUs in our schools, and we have these games like this that bring a big attendance out and bring a big crowd out, and we say, oh, it had 47,000 people out there. Look at how many people care about this and the third. And it's like, to me, I see it and it's like, great, but like, do they really care? And that's the part that like I'm just not going to fall for the trap of, because we've seen this story already with a school down there in the SWAC where all the celebrity and national attention was all on that school. They even had College Game Day come out there for a game. But then as soon as that one person left, all the national love and all the less support HBCU stuff went out the door with him with the first opportunity that he took. So I'm happy that the game had 47,000 people. I'm happy for that. But also I have to be honest and say I can't really be too excited about it, because out of the 47,000, I'm pretty sure half of those people were only there because of the two coaches. They don't really care about those schools. Now, is that 100% true? I don't know or not, but I just can't sit here and be 100% okay with it. Because, for example, how many of those people are going to come to the next Norfolk State and Delaware State game? We don't know.
Hold on. Nah. And Angela, no, Josh ain't preaching.
I'm just being honest.
The reason I say, and I'm going to speak on that, right, is that number one, none of those coaches have the same kind of fan base Deion Sanders is. None of them are Deion, right? And so I don't think anybody came to the game because of the coaches. I think number one, I think from being up here, no, because most of the people up here are cynical about Deshaun Jackson. You know, like when you sit here and talk to people around here, they act like y'all when it comes to Deshaun Jackson. You think he's going to be good? Is he really doing something different? You know how he was when he was in Philly? You know, all of those. And I'm consistently, because I got to see some things up close, and I try not to step in. I try to stay on the outside. So, like, one of my childhood friends I grew up with, played college football with him too, is his agent. And I'm not going to get too deep into who that is, but I don't even ask for nothing. We talk about it, but I don't go in there and ask for nothing, but I talk to him. All of the people around here, like some of my friends are donors and to the program. They are, one, the area is tied into him winning. Number two, the mayor, Cheryl Parker, is a HBCU grad. So she encouraged, at some schools, they got half a day if they got tickets to the game. You know what I mean? So that was the community being invested to the game. The other HBCUs, like my HBCU, Cheney University, 1837, the first HBCU. I just wanted to say that real quick. Also had a tailgate and sold tickets. All the Greeks sold tickets. So it was a community thing. It didn't have nothing to do. It was the pride of having two HBCUs highlighted in Philadelphia at the link. And I've got some other inside information that they'll be doing it. They'll be having it. But Vic said he didn't want to have it every year because it was like a home game for Delaware State, which makes sense. But if you have Delaware State and Howard, look how much close the Howard fan base is to Philly, and how many Philly grads are in Howard. They'll come to the game if you make it. So. That's what they did. I'm
gonna say these two things. For one, if that game was a regular game in Delaware State, I don't think it has half of 47,000 people there. For one. For two, the prime reason why I say that I can't get jiggy with it is because Alabama State and Jackson State, the game, even though it was Jackson State's homecoming, it had 44,000 people in attendance there. Out of those 44,000 people there, I respect that more because I know that those people are there for that game and for those schools. I can't agree with you and say that those 47,000 people at the Delaware State Norfolk State game are there for those two schools.
I just that's the part where I say y'all don't know the North. So Delaware State.
I'm not saying that I don't know the North. I'm just saying
you don't, but I'm telling you don't because where Delaware State is, right? Delaware State's in Dover, right? The problem with them having a fan base is they haven't been winning. Number one. Number two, people that live, the closest people live 40 minutes from the university. So if you ain't winning and I got to drive 40 minutes, I ain't going.
I'm just,
You know what
I'm
I
just
mean?
asking.
So no, but I think what you're missing is that Delaware State is having notable success, right? Like they beat North Carolina Central. They played well against Monmouth. Is that it's starting to ramp up, not just because of Delaware State, but it's ramping up because they're having success.
And
I think it's a common. Go ahead,
Vaughn. Go ahead, Vaughn.
I think it's a combination. I don't think we can ignore the fact of Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson. There are some people that just came there. You know, the people trying to get their jersey signed. The Vick jersey signed and Deshaun. But what I like about it, having previously worked at a HBCU athletic department, I hear the gate was over $1 million that the school split. I mean, HBCU schools would kill to have that kind of take. You know, that's kind of what we do at the Florida Classic. Well, each school takes away $1 million from the Florida Classic. That's all of those people are there. To Josh's point, they ain't there. They either Cookman or Fam. It's not some other factor in there. So I think both of you. What both of you are saying is correct, because there are fans that have been sitting waiting for Delaware State to give them something to cheer about and something to be prideful about and some reason to make their travel worthwhile and invest in their money in. There are some people at that game that, just like I said, off the street, know the name Michael Vick, know the name Deshaun Jackson. I think there were a combination. I really think both of you all are right. There's a combination of them. I don't know what the balance of it is. But it worked out in the favor. Listen, this is the second week in a row that Norfolk State played in front of 47,000 people. What Norfolk State did is their campus is perfectly gated off.
Yep.
So if you wanted to come on campus on homecoming, you had to pay. So they included that in their attendance. So even though stadium only hold 30,000, all the people that usually hang around outside, they had to pay. So that's in their attendance. So, hey, Simone. But yeah, so that was 2 weeks in a row where Norfolk State was in front of 40,000+ people. Who knows when the last time that happened?
Yeah.
Part of that.
Yeah. And the other thing I just want to add is this: I think it is a win, but I think, like, if you look at all of HBC, like when you talk about Norfolk State, where is it located? Right in the city.
Yeah.
Right. Johnson C. Smith in the city. Tallahassee. Like, you go to Cheney, it's located in Cheney, PA. Right? Lincoln is in Oxford, PA. And so what I'm just trying to say is that when they're not having good football teams at the time, people aren't, like, that's an hour outside the city. Like, from the closest urban things is 45 minutes. So people are hungry for those things. But when you ain't winning and it's far away, and then the Eagle Stadium does add a little gloss to it, saying they get to watch an HBCU game at the Eagle Stadium. But I've been there when they pick fan bases too far away. You go to the Howard game and Morehouse, and you go to Howard and Morehouse in Giant Stadium. How many Atlanta fans are going to drive all the way up to New York? But if I'm from New York and I can go see Dell State an hour and a half away where I went to school, I'm going to make that ride instead of driving 2 or 3 hours to Dell State. Because a lot of those schools, their fan bases don't live in the city that the school is in, or even in an hour away, because they're all schools that are secluded. When I was at Cheney, we're 3 miles in the woods in any direction. So that's
y'all
just
like,
my opinion.
Y'all like Alcorn out there, Kobe?
Yep.
It's just for me, like, I'm happy about it. Like, I don't want to get that confused. Like, I'm happy about the schools and programs. I just, from me, it's just like, I'm thinking about the long run of this entire situation. Like, I'm not thinking in the current moment. I'm thinking, like, yes, it's a win for both of the programs for that week. Like, what are they like? Because it's like, okay, cool, it's a win for right now, but like in the long run, is fans going to come out and support the next couple of weeks? Is the fans going to continue to do it? Like, I just don't want people to get caught up into all the numbers and the statistics and the hype of the celebrity coaches to where
they gotta win.
I was about to say, it's going to come down to the product that they get. Delaware State is winning, so those fans are going to go to Delaware. Norfolk State is not so much. We've seen that taper off.
And I'm glad y'all said that. And I'm so glad that y'all said that, because Jackson State just won the Celebration Bowl, but their attendance number for their home opener versus Hampton was nowhere near close to what they expected in the past couple of years. So it's like, yes, it is, because yes, you do have to win, but at the same time, I just don't want people to get bought up into the hype of these celebrity coaches and think that they're changing the culture and this, that, and the third, and they're not really bought into the programs for the long run. That's all I'm saying. Like, yes, it's good for the current moment, but for the players, for the schools, for the administrations, if they really want to build that program into a better, more structured thing, then they need to be more consistent within that. And now I just don't want people to get caught up into the current moment of now and get stuck. And then God forbid D-Jack leaves in the first opportunity that he gets, or whenever he decides a departure, that they don't have their hands held out like nothing. Because thank God Jackson State has a true stronghold fan base that will back up their players and backed up TC like it was nothing. Will they do the same for the next Delaware State coach? We don't know, because that Delaware State fan base hasn't been known to really be as much and as strong as they were in the past. Same with Norfolk State, because Norfolk State is known as a basketball school. So God forbid, whenever Vic leaves, will the support still be there for those programs? We don't know.
They got to win. The support has been there. Like, you got to understand the fan base. The support is there. They've been trying to get wins, the alumni, all those other things. But it's location a lot of time. If they play games that was closer to the cities, like if you go an hour north of Dover, right? You can go to Chester, Wilmington, Philly, Camden, New Jersey, all of those places, and they don't have the proximity. But we're gonna move on. I ain't gonna make this long and draw it out. And Angela, I ain't talking to you. Don't be jumping in our
I'm just saying, man. Like, I'm just trying to see the bigger picture. I get it's great right now. I'm
what I'm trying to tell you is, when you're looking at the bigger picture, there's other things to it. Like, you look at Jackson, right? You look at Jackson State. All Vaugh dip. Where's Cameron went out? No. If you look at Jackson State, right? Where is it located? Like, most of those schools are located in urban areas or areas that have largely black populations. Delaware State no longer has that. But look, we're going to wrap up tonight, because we'll sit and go over this for an hour. We like to argue. And it looked like Josh driving or something. Oh, here comes
I'm just feeling right now.
I'm sorry. I was trying to get the comments, and my computer freaked out on me.
No, you are good.
We're going to get out of here. And you know, like, now we got to see who got gas left in the tank or who's running on fumes, brother. You know what I mean? I'm Kobe Simmons. It's Josh and Vaughn for the Road Warriors.
For the Road Warriors.
We say we out here.